Seniors, the fact that you would invite me to come back up here and give you advice after having sat through 2 years of literature class thinly disguised as my advice column to you suggests that you have either very short memories or very tender hearts. And I think from my personal knowledge of you, it's mostly the latter, mostly. I have a simple charge for you today. It's very practical. It's just this. Let the waiter pick your food. Just let the waiter pick your food. A few years ago, my wife and I were given an all-expense-paid visit to Highlands Bar and Grill, the flagship restaurant of Frank Stitt, one of Alabama's greatest chefs and probably many other states besides. The sheer extravagance of this place with the reservation and the white tablecloths perhaps inspired the creativity that dawned upon me as I approached the door. I turned to my wife and I said, "Babe, what if we let the waiter pick our food tonight?" Surprisingly, my wife, who normally takes upwards of 30 minutes to meticulously comb the menu trying to find just the perfect dish order, actually agreed with me. Now, I have known other people who have worked for Frank Stitt. One of them currently holds a doctorate in theology, and he told me that morning meetings on Frank's staff were like graduate school symposiums in the fine art of gourmet culture and food. These people are professionals. This is not the kind of place you go for a side hustle for pocket change. If you get up to go to the bathroom at Highlands Bar and Grill, they will notice, and they will find your napkin and refold it and set it gently on your seat for you when you return. So when my waiter heard our plan, his eyes got big like he had just won the lottery. This was the very thing he has been trained for. We asked for 2 appetizers, 2 entrees, 2 desserts, and a bottle of wine that wouldn't break the bank. He took the menus, and that is when the magic began. Course after course came in perfect timing, not too soon, not too late, and always accompanied by a small lecture on the ingredients contained therein and the techniques used to prepare our food, including slices of roast beef that had been cooked for over 36 hours in a special and rare oven designed specially for the recipe. The tenderness of that meat approximated cupcakes, I'm telling you. If you'd watched my wife during this meal, you might not have thought we were on the best of terms because we hardly spoke. We just sat there with our eyes closed and sighed over and over again. We were in sheer disbelief at the glorious culinary wonder going over our palates. It is to this day the standard by which I judge all fine dining. Now I want you to fast forward though to a few weeks later. My wife and I are on another date, this time on our own budget, so we were at Chili's. And the same muse that had visited me at Highlands Bar and Grill shows back up. And as I'm sitting there looking over this extremely long menu with multiple pages, it occurs to me to ask, what happens if I ask this waitress to pick my food? So I did it. Now the look on her face was less lottery and more lunatic, but eventually she got the idea and seemed quite delighted with it as she walked away from the table, imagining what exactly she was going to pick. Now, I'm not going to try to convince you that my experience at Chili's replicated the dining wonder that was at Highlands Bar and Grill, but I will tell you this. Even a meal at Chili's can be magical. Letting that waitress pick my food that night turned something very ordinary at a very ordinary chain into something that was indeed special. And I have tested it dozens of times since. From 4-star restaurants to Cracker Barrel, it always has the same effect. Here's my conclusion. The magic of a meal increases the more I understand that it is a gift. The magic of a meal increases the more I understand that it's a gift. So seniors, I charge you, let the waiter pick your food. A small liturgy like this can have a tremendous impact on your consciousness. hand over the menu at a restaurant, and perhaps you'll be able to hand over your agenda in life. Learn to treat every occasion to eat out as gift, and perhaps you can learn to treat every person and every moment as a gift. But it would be irresponsible for me to give you this charge without a warning. If you can translate the practice of letting your waiter pick your food into the broader theological content it's meant to fill, then you are going to find that God has a strange habit of pulling the plates from the table before you're finished eating the food on them. And he will choose courses for you that no one in their right mind would select. Financial instability, disappointed ambition, and that deepest valley of the darkest shadow. Learning to receive all of life as a gift will make it magical indeed, but it will also make the heartbreak all the harder to bear as you watch that magic fade away, sometimes permanently. Some of you know this better than me, and I trust that all of you can believe somewhere down in that even the fading of the magic is a gift, because you remember Boethius. Didn't think I was going to get done without referencing that, did you? Every good in this world is a secondary good, an aspect of the one good from which they all flow. God takes the plate off the table because he knows no plate in any restaurant, no matter how long the dish has been cooking, can satisfy the hunger within you. Learning to live lives grateful of the magic in every moment is just the appetizer. Your hearts were made for something far more delicious. So I hope you will give it a try, truthfully. Let the waiter order your food. And I hope your eyes will be opened to the magic that saturates every mundane corner of this life. And I hope when your heart breaks, and they will break, I hope you look deep into the fading magic and see eyes that love you and invite you to a feast that your desires have always been directing you towards. I love you, seniors. Thank you.